What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of King Print, where I cover all things screen printing. Now before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is showing you how to correctly flood a screen and transfer the ink from your screen to your t-shirt. Now the first thing you're going to want to do here is load your ink. This is a very important step. You don't want to over ink your screen. Even if you're doing a big run, you don't want to over ink your screen. That'll do it right there. What some people like doing is they'll flood the screen away from the shirt, away from the palette. I really don't do it like that because it wastes a little bit more time. So what I do is I actually flood it on the shirt, on the palette itself. It is a little bit more of an advanced move to do that, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can actually blotch out all the ink onto your shirt when you're flooding it. So you know, if you're just starting out, I definitely recommend doing it away with using the off contact. This is what it's gonna look like when I'm flooding it again, just like that. And then that's your pass right there. See right here, this side and this side here, if you over ink it, all that ink starts to build up. And then it starts pushing out and out, and it starts getting into the creases, and it gets real hard to get out. Not only that, it can transfer into your shirt. See how I have the ink there? The ink is on the edge of the squeegee. That's perfect how you're gonna want it. You never want the ink to build up into the crease right there between the wood handle and the squeegee itself. Once that ink gets built up into that little area, it's gonna be real hard to actually get that out. And what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be adding more ink and more ink, and what's gonna happen is that squeegee, the ink curls up. So it's either gonna curl up on itself on the edge of the squeegee, or it's gonna curl up between the handle and the squeegee itself. So if it does it between the wood handle and the squeegee rubber, it just keeps on curling up on itself. So you're gonna keep adding ink and ink and ink, and it's just gonna keep curling up and up. So it's gonna defeat the purpose. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you have that ink right at the bottom on the edge of the squeegee. See, as you can see up top, that's an old squeegee. When I had somebody working for me, that was one of my big pet peeves, is getting ink all over the place. I really hated that, because that was just such a simple thing that could be avoided. Sloppy work ethic, and I really don't like that. So you're gonna drop all your ink down, create that little pocket of ink, you're gonna flood and give it your pass. Just like that. Again, you have your ink right here, you're gonna drop your ink. See how it drops all your ink right there? Here's another angle here. You're gonna drop your ink, you're gonna flood it, give it your pass. Always remember to drop that ink. See, like I was saying earlier, see all that ink I have down there? If I had too much ink on my screen, that ink would curl up between the wood handle and the actual rubber squeegee, and it would just be impossible to get out. You wouldn't have the same flood consistency, because you keep having to add ink almost on every pass you give it. So that's gonna be every shirt you're gonna be adding ink, because that ink is curling up the wrong way. So you're gonna drop all your ink, you're gonna flood it. So it's a light pressure to coat all your screen, and now you're gonna give it your firm pressure. Again, drop your ink, light coat, now firm pressure. That's what it would look like in real time. And when you notice you're running out of ink, you can always grab the ink off the sides. And what that's gonna do, that's gonna keep your screen clean. You always wanna keep your screen clean. Check this out, and this is one thing I wanna point out. Check out how clean my screen is. I'm not talking about the frame, I'm talking about the actual screen itself. Once your screen starts getting real dirty, as far as the ink goes, it transfers to your screen. From there, from your screen, it transfers to your finger. From your finger, it transfers to your heat press. From your heat press, it transfers to the shirt. And then one day you're walking in your shop, and you just walk in and you already got ink on your pants, and they're brand new pants. You're not sure how it got there. That's because ink just starts getting all over everything. And that's one thing you definitely don't want. You want to keep ink from transferring all over your shop. And the first step of that is keeping your screen clean. See, this is a screen that I bought brand new. Look at how clean that is. Look at the frame. Look at how clean the frame is. So again, you have your ink here, nice and curled at the edge. You're gonna drop your ink. You're gonna flood, give it that light coat, and then you're gonna give it your firm pressure. Boom, just like that. All right, so this is another important step right here that you don't want to miss. All the ink that accumulates on the sides, the bottom, and the top, you're gonna want to make sure that you clear all that out once you're done using that screen. You're gonna want to take your spatula and get all that ink off. That's gonna make it a lot easier when you go to reclaim your screen. It's gonna be that much easier to reclaim. And I know one thing you might be thinking while you're watching this, there's really not much to it. What's so hard about screening a shirt? It looks pretty easy. Yeah, it looks easy. Once you get into it, I mean, it goes pretty easy, but those first few orders you do, it's gonna be a little bit tricky getting the hang of it. And for myself, one of my first orders I did was a white shirt with black print, and I couldn't figure out why that ink was blotching out on me. Maybe like 10 shirts, that ink just kept on blotching out, and that's because I wasn't flooding the shirt right. I was giving it too much pressure. I was actually giving it pass versus a flood. So I was giving it a pass, and then when I went down to actually give it that actual firm pressure, well, all that ink built up on the bottom of the screen already. So once I gave it that pressure, it just blotched out. So I couldn't figure that out, why it was blotching out on me. And at the time, there weren't a lot of videos on screen printing. That's how long ago this was. And I know there's tons of videos out there showing you how to screen a shirt, but I just wanted to show you how I do it, and I hope this works out for you. I hope I covered all your questions if you had any. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and check out all my other screen print videos. And if you're in the market for screen print supplies, whether it be transfers, ink, emulsion, or a new press, check out the links in my description for screen print supplies on sale right now from Amazon. Check you on the next one.